Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. And in this video, I'm going to be doing an initial comparison of the Zoom Freak 2 and the Zoom Freak 1. So both of these shoes retail for 120 bucks, but this colorway specifically of the Zoom Freak 2 is 130 bucks, which is interesting. So if you guys do want to cop either of these, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. I believe I saw the Zoom Freak 1 for like 90, 80 bucks. But anyways, let's get it started off with the traction. So for the Zoom Freak 1, okay, so I mean, it had a really good bite on a clean court, but it had issues with dust, and also durability wasn't the best. So you guys see this like flower pattern on the outsole, I guess here in the forefoot and kind of like in the midfoot and heel. That part was really hard rubber and was super durable. But the part where it's more of like a herringbone, that was actually softer rubber. In my orange pair with this white colorway, I have fraying, I have it ripping off actually. And that's only from indoor use. So durability wasn't the best on that part. And that's where the high wear area is, you know, like where the ball of your foot is. And then in the Zoom Freak 2, this colorway is a solid black outsole, the same thing as this colorway. And where the ball of your foot is, it basically is a circle that circles out and gets larger. And it kind of like separates into little nub things. And the nubs don't seem very durable to me, but they're in the part of the outsole where it's not required to have like, I guess, durable rubber because it's not a high wear area. The high wear area is basically like here in the heel and where the ball of your foot is. And the rubber where the ball of your foot is very hard and super thick. So I don't think durability is going to be an issue at all here in the forefoot and in the heel. You guys see this rubber here in the heel. So I feel like outdoor use is going to be better with the Zoom Freak 2. As far as the traction goes, I don't know, but I feel like the Zoom Freak 2 is going to be a little bit better than the Zoom Freak 1 because it just stops so hard on my wood floors. Like, of course, I was trying it with these, and these have a pretty damn good bite on my wood floors, but then I tried this, and it was really insane. So of course, just take it with a grain of salt, but I feel like the Zoom Freak 2 is going to be really good. The nubs are very close together, and these lines here in the forefoot are also very close together. So it might be a trap for dust, and dust might get stuck in there, dust, debris, dirt. So we'll have to see on that as well. But overall, I'm liking the Zoom Freak 2 traction a little bit better than the 1. But as far as the design goes, I feel like I like the 1 better. It looks a little bit cooler in the 1 in my opinion. And also another difference is the Zoom Freak 1 is a one-piece outsole. The Zoom Freak 2 is decoupled here in the midfoot. So it's a 2-piece outsole. Doesn't really do anything. They didn't really decouple the midsole. Nike just said they decoupled the outsole to reduce weight. And I don't really know how much weight this is going to reduce. It's like a little piece of rubber, so probably 0.1 ounces, right? But anyways, there's the outsole. Moving on to the heel to toe transition, they're both pretty damn smooth. You have a nice curved shape here in the heel and a nice curved shape here in the forefoot, and you have a nice flex in the forefoot in both of the shoes, right? I would say the Zoom Freak 1 flexes a little bit more. And also there was something that was floating around like a long time ago on Instagram where the Zoom Freak 1 didn't have a midfoot shank. Right, so you can basically fold the shoe in half. And I mean, I didn't really have any issues with torsional support, but that is something to note. The Zoom Freak 2 does have a midfoot shank, I believe. Oh wait, what the? On Nike's website, they say the Zoom Freak 2 should have a midfoot shank plate in the midsole, but look at that. Look at that. So I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about that, but I mean, I don't think I'm going to have any issues with torsion support either in the shoe, but we'll have to see on that. All right, as far as the cushioning goes, pretty much a disappointment. So the Zoom Freak 1 had a full-length Phylon. Ooh, so nice, right? And the compression in the heel was absolutely horrendous. There was no compression. It hurt, and impact protection was not that good. But there was a double stack zoom in the heel, which felt like pretty nice. Like for some reason in the orange pair, I couldn't feel it as much as in this pair, which is weird because like when I got this, this is the shoe that I reviewed in, and then I got this and I was like, yo, the heel zooming, I can feel it a lot more than this. It's still like not that nice though. It's like a very long and small rectangular shape, and I would rather have this in the forefoot than in the heel, but that's just my preference. And they switched it up in the Zoom Freak 2. There's no zoom in the heel, and they moved it into the forefoot. And the forefoot zoom in the Zoom Freak 2 is okay. You know, I can't feel it like very prominently like I can in the Westbrook One Take or like the Converse G4 for some reason. but hopefully that's just something that I need to break in. But like the overall foam and everything feels pretty much the same in both of the shoes. The core feel is good in both of the shoes, and yeah, I feel like the Zoom Freak 2 is going to feel pretty similar to the Zoom Freak 1, but just the zoom unit is switched, you know, so it all depends on where you like to feel the zoom unit, and I like to feel the zoom unit in the forefoot, so I guess I like the Zoom Freak 2 a little bit better. Moving on to the materials, the Zoom Freak 2 is a million times better. The Zoom Freak 1, I mean, I still liked it on foot. It's a very, very thin material, but it's so cheap feeling, you know? It's flimsy, especially in hand. It looks cheap, but like on foot, like I said, it's thin, it conforms to your foot pretty damn well. So I didn't really have an issue with it. But then the Zoom Freak 2, in this colorway, it's incredible. It feels like the jacquard material in the Dealer 2s, but just a good amount thinner, you know? So it's super soft. It's also thin. And I would say it's just as thin as the Zoom Freak 1. It's more comfortable on foot. It's cozier. They both have some fuse in the toe area on the medial side. So straight up materials, the Zoom Freak 2 is way better. As far as the tongue goes, they're both incredibly nice. Like that was one thing that I loved about the Zoom Freak 1 is the oversized tongue with all this padding. And that felt very, very comfortable. The Zoom Freak 2, same thing. I believe it's pretty much the same. Like yeah, the size is the same, the amount of padding is the same, and as well as in the ankle area, there's a good amount of padding, which feels very, very comfortable. I love it. One thing that is a little different is that the Zoom Freak 1 is a half booty tongue. So it connects to a material that goes underneath this upper, and you know, gives you a better overall one-to-one fit, and it keeps the tongue in place. The Zoom Freak 2 is an independent tongue. I don't know why they changed it up. So I am a little bit worried about the Zoom Freak 2 tongue like kind of moving around while I'm playing. So we'll have to see on that because, you know, sometimes in some shoes, if it does have an independent tongue, like kind of moves around like this, and I constantly have to adjust it. So that's just something that I don't like to do and something that I find annoying, but you know, there's that. All right, moving on to the fit. I went true to size for both of the shoes and they fit me perfectly. The Zoom Freak 2 pretty much has the same fit as the Zoom Freak 1. So my toe pretty much goes right to the edge. Width-wise, I would say slightly narrow, and the toe space in the toe box area is pretty damn snug. So both of these shoes fit me like a glove. And if you have a wide foot or you prefer a roomier fit, I would suggest going up half a size or maybe even a full size because both of these shoes fit very, very snug. All right, as far as the lateral support goes, I had no issues with the Zoom Freak 1. You have this rubber coming up here in the forefoot, and you have this swoosh with the foam coming up in the heel, as well as an internal TPU heel counter. So you were locked in, your foot was not sliding out of the foot pedal or anything. And then the Zoom Freak 2, I mean, obviously I haven't played in these yet, but I think, I'm just speculating here, but it looks like it's gonna be pretty damn good. So you have these two plastic pieces in the forefoot and in the midfoot. And I really like this extra plastic piece here in the forefoot. It's like really into the forefoot, but that's basically where your pinky toe is. So I like that for extra containment and support. One thing that I am worried about, I mean, it is a softer type of plastic, but I hope that it doesn't rub against my pinky toe and give me blisters. And then here in the midfoot, you have this plastic piece again, and the foam coming up here in the heel, as well as an internal TPU heel counter. So I feel like lateral containment is going to be really good in the Zoom Freak 2. As far as the lateral support goes, I mean, if you look at the width of the shoe, they're both the same, around the same width. The Zoom Freak 2 does have an outrigger though, and both of them have very, very flat outsoles here in the forefoot. So I feel like lateral stability is going to be good. And both of these are a low, but the Zoom Freak 1 kind of covered your ankle bone a little bit more than the Zoom Freak 2. So that's just something I like a little bit better in the Zoom Freak 2. All right, as far as weight goes, I feel like the Zoom Freak 1 is going to be a little bit lighter. So yeah, very, very light, 10.86 ounces. And the Zoom Freak 2 is 11.64 ounces. So basically an ounce lighter for the Zoom Freak 1. And that probably has to do with all these like synthetic overlays on the Zoom Freak 2. Like the plastic piece, you know, this bigger swoosh, this ankle strap thing, which doesn't really do anything. And then of course on the medial side, you have a lot of overlays as well. The Zoom Freak 1 didn't really have anything like that. It was basically this mesh material throughout the entire upper. So yeah, the Zoom Freak 1 feels a little bit more minimal and also a little bit less chunky here in the heel. The heel foam in the Zoom Freak 2 kind of comes out a good amount, you know, and I don't really like that. I feel like they should have shed this off, like cut this off a little bit. The Zoom Freak 1 still does that a little bit, but just not as much as the 2. So right now, I mean, the Zoom Freak 1 feels overall a little bit more minimal and a little bit lighter. Moving on to the aesthetics of the shoe. I don't know, guys. The Zoom Freak 2 definitely grew on me a lot, and I really like the PE that Giannis was wearing with the iridescent swoosh. That colorway was sick. And the Zoom Freak 1, I do like, but I'm not a huge fan of the big ass reverse swoosh here on the lateral side. So I feel like I like the Zoom Freak 2 better. And the funny thing is, they're basically the same size swoosh if you look at it, right? They're both oversized swooshes, but just on different places on the lateral side. So tell us what you guys think looks better down in the comment section below. So yeah, wrapping things up, just as far as my first initial impression goes, the Zoom Freak 2 feels a good amount better. Like the material quality feels so much better. The cushioning is pretty much the same. Like I said, I do like forefoot zoom unit better than the heel zoom unit, but it's not super bouncy right now. So of course I'll need to break this in. The traction seems a little bit more durable and a little bit better as far as the stop goes, but just on my wood floors. And the 2 basically kept my favorite parts of the Zoom Freak 1. You know, like the big oversized fluffy tongue and all of this ankle padding. So I definitely feel like the Zoom Freak 2 is an improvement over the Zoom Freak 1. So again, if you guys do want to cop either of these shoes, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.